Here's the snapback. Here's the kick. He's got the leg into it. If it is good, and it is! Austin Stars, a 49-yard field goal, and Indiana leads 27-24.
Oh, it's an end around one to throw. Page looking at the quarterback, and it's a touchdown! Page finds Leno!
Penix rolling out of the pocket to a strong hand. Delivers deep down the field. Caught, touchdown! Fry Vogel again.
Welcome to the LEO podcast. That is right. Even though you guys wanted us to leave, we are back. And I'm your host, Michael Bragg. You can find me on Twitter. It's at Braggley, Braggley. I'm not really sure that statement was true. I just wanted to give some sort of an excuse for us taking 2 weeks off to do nothing. So I'm here with my itchy co-host. I say itchy because he's literally itching himself, and he's been bugging us to get back on the pod.
I miss you guys so much.
That voice is Brandon Dubich. You can follow him on Twitter at Brandon Dubich. Brandon spelled traditionally Dubich, D-U-B-I-C-H. What is up, Brando? First time I've talked to you this year.
Oh, don't make that joke. Oh, that's awful. I'm excited to talk about an IU team that's exciting and has some positive momentum. It was doom and gloom for a while. And it's funny when you have all of these options to add players. I think it was, I don't remember if it was Lane Kiffin, but somebody was like, there's 4 chances to get players now. The early signing period, the transfer portal signing period, the late signing period, and then after spring ball. So, I mean, there's really 4 chances to add impact players. I think we did pretty good at signing day. We crushed signing day. It was one of the more fun ones in the most past recent years. And we absolutely have done really well with the transfer portal so well. Incomplete, because I think there's a few positions we're still waiting on. But for the most part, I'd say we're 2 for 2 out of the 2 windows so far, which is fun.
Yeah, just don't look at the rankings, which we've talked about don't mean anything.
Did you see what we are in transfer ratings?
34th, right?
Not bad.
It's not bad. Without getting a splash, I think adding a quarterback to that's going to bump it up a little bit, which we may or may not have something towards the end of the podcast we'll talk about as far as that goes. We don't know anything, but we might know something. We'll see. Speaking of not knowing anything, back with us, new year, new you, producer Seth.
Same Seth.
Yeah, but just new you guys. You can block him on Twitter. It's at SETAH5, SETAH5. Please, I would strongly suggest to do it now, as he has now gone to swear words when it comes to IU basketball players, as well as taunting when his team beats Penn State, which I would have thought prior to the other day was not that big of a feat, but clearly is. So, Seth, what's up?
I'm less excited than Brandon to be here, but I'm also itchy, but that's mostly because I shaved my neck beard this morning. So I don't know. Similar feelings, different experiences, I guess.
Before we get into this, what did you guys think of my drunk tweet? You guys both ended up liking it on Sunday. I had a couple beverages on Saturday.
I could tell. And I don't remember it. Okay. Follow, believe, block. It's good. Well done.
Company line.
Yeah.
I laid down the company line.
Yeah, at 11:51 at night.
Yep.
Good for you.
I get nervous when he tags me on anything.
Yeah. Well, you know me. We've talked about me. I'm doomed. Whenever IU is down, whenever they lose, I stay off of social media. I turn off my notifications for Twitter. I do all of that. I just hide in depression. And so I haven't turned them back on. And so when I got on maybe Sunday morning.
Yeah, it was Sunday morning that you both liked it.
I saw that and was happy with it. So, yeah, there we go.
Speaking, you weren't mad. Is that a better way to put it? You
Yeah,
weren't mad.
I was happy with it, meaning you didn't blow the entire podcast apart. So, so yeah, that's always good. You know, those one of those employees where like you go to a meeting, let's say maybe you have like a potential client and you have a good salesman, but a salesman that's maybe a little loose-lipped or may get into the drink before said meeting, and you get kind of nervous whenever they get ready to talk. That's, you know, you on Twitter on a Saturday night is kind of like that. So
It's accurate. That's
yeah.
it's a fair depiction.
So there you go. And I don't know how many people are like drinking before client meetings, but you know, you do you. Speaking of that, let's get into the pod, guys. We have zero structure for this. Brandon did a heck of a job, a bang up job, some might say, on his version of an outline. Basically, what we're going to do today, talk some of the quarterback options. We've got a little bit of we got a couple birds in our ears talking about some stuff. May have a chance at one of these quarterbacks that we'll talk about here in a little bit. Wink, wink. And then we'll also talk about some of the transfers that have happened since we last spoke. And we may talk about some that we've already talked about because it's been like 2.5 weeks and I don't remember what we talked about last time. So bear with us. You guys don't remember either. So we'll just keep talking about it. And we'll talk about some outgoing transfers. We won't spend too much time on people that don't want to be here. And then we will, I guess, we'll go through the Big Ten bowl games. So let's get into it. Let's talk quarterback options. Brandon, you have done the most research on you and Seth really have done the most research on these guys. Let's start. And I want to start with a new name that we haven't talked about yet. An interesting name, a name with an NFL tie to it. Let's talk Sam Heward. Is there anything there? Any buzz with Sam?
Is his dad Brock?
That's his dad.
He's an atrocious announcer. I think he's like one of like the B or even C level Fox guys. The Colts and Steelers play in the AFC. Seth, have you had the pleasure of getting a Brock Heward game?
Yeah, there's nothing about it that's entertaining. It is what is it? Milk toast, just bland porridge.
Vanilla wafers.
Ugh.
Yeah. But anyway, Sam Heward would be nice. He's a statue, right? I don't know.
We
if
don't need that then. Okay.
Right. Yeah. This guy's
Move
got
on.
no mobility.
Yeah.
Zero. Is there any ties there? Where did Brock play?
He played at Washington.
Yeah.
That's
The
what an
whole
embarrassment.
family, I believe.
What a disappointment. Like that for sure. Like when he came home and told his dad he was going to the transfer portal, his dad pulled out. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed because he's leaving his alma mater to go somewhere else. I bet you he ends up somewhere over there on the West Coast. You know, he was supposed to be he was a big time recruit. I'll look him up.
Yeah, he was.
Out of high school. I believe it maybe high fours, maybe even touched the fives.
He was a 90 on
he was a 5-star.
24/7. Yep.
5-star composite. Number 3 overall ranked quarterback in the country.
Yep.
And he got beat out by Michael Penix. Penix is coming back one more time and he wants to leave because he saw. So Sam Heward, that was that one. So there's some other interesting names. We're still, I don't know if we need to spend any time on Spencer Sanders. We talked about him before, unless there's any momentum.
I mostly just want to bring him up to you guys. I thought this guy be the biggest name in the entire. I mean, obviously Sam Hartman
he is, right?
But like, why hasn't he gone anywhere? Is he just expecting a higher payday? Like, I'm confused because some big schools passed up on him already. So like, I'm confused on this in the entire recruitment. Since we're not going to do Brandos Randos at the end, like, are players just asking for too much money or are they being ill-informed? Like, how does Spencer Sanders go 6 weeks without finding a team?
Unless he's trying to find like that perfect. I mean, he's done. This is it. Like, this is the one and done. He has no other shot after this. Redshirt senior. I've seen him play one game, and it was against Baylor in the 2021 Big 10 championship or Big 12 championship game. Not impressed, but again, I've only seen him play one game. So
Yeah.
He is the highest rated remaining quarterback on the market. I think he was top 2 or 3 overall when it all went down. So yeah, it's a good question. I don't know if you really, I mean,
there was a time where I fully expected him to sign with Auburn.
Yeah.
And then there was also another time where I thought he'd sign with Ole Miss.
With Ole Miss, yeah.
So I have no idea. Ole Miss is their stud young quarterback, Altmaier's at Illinois now. Jackson Dart's obviously going to be back. I thought Auburn made the most sense, but I mean,
Ole Miss makes no sense, dude. Jackson Dart's a dude.
I know,
Yeah.
but Lane Kiffin wants everybody. Every quarterback
that's
has
true.
to go down to
Much
Mississippi and kiss
talent
the
as
ring.
possible. Yep. Yeah. So okay, that's enough with Spencer Sanders. Hank, let's talk about your boy Hank out in Boise State here, Seth. What do we know about him?
He's a little bit undersized, has some mobility. He's a bit of a quitter. Quit mid-season when he lost the job, and then Boise State with a mobile quarterback immediately went on like a 4 or 5 game win streak. He had been the incumbent starter for I think 2.5 years before that. So he has tons of experience, but you always got to wonder a kid who can't even stick out the season. I don't know. It's always a little bit of a rough position to be in.
I got a question for Bragg here, because it has nothing to do with football. Do you have his profile pulled up?
I can get it. Yeah. I'm right on him here.
Does he
Yeah.
not scream insurance or real estate?
Oh my goodness, dude! As soon as I saw him, I
That
was
looks
that
like
is
a
an
State
insurance
Farm.
agent.
Like that looks like a State Farm where he's like
Yes.
on a bench or a
Yeah.
grocery cart.
Oh, he'll be everywhere. He will be on the bench and the grocery cart and the billboard outside of the
Like
Kroger.
I just look at him and I'm like, that's State Farm.
Yeah.
I'm not like trashing him or State Farm. It's just
No,
Really funny.
That is a perfectly like his hair looks amazing, and he's got the face. He's got the
like
insurance.
the one
face.
dimple, the smile.
Oh, yeah.
That's
So
like a good neighbor.
yeah. So I know on the two quarterbacks I'm not going to talk about, or I'm going to talk about, they are mobile quarterbacks. But here's my rule moving on until we get a quarterback. When we talk about quarterback options, new ones, if I haven't done the research, which I probably won't, if they are statues, they're standstill, they can't move, I don't even want to talk about them. Just say next, and then we'll just move on because we don't need this. This would just be another Baz. It would be another total disaster. We need movement. With movement, you're talking Mike Wright. Brandon, you want to talk a little Mike Wright from Vanderbilt?
Vandy had a very surprising season. I unfortunately didn't jump on the Vandy bandwagon until late, but I end up gambling on them 2 or 3 times. He's pretty electrifying. Gets himself in trouble because he's basically a 1 or 2 read guy, then go. But when you have the pocket like Indiana does, you're really only going to get to that first or second read. So that's not too much of a problem. He certainly has happy feet in the pocket. Not the most accurate passer, but he does have a decent gun. He can throw the long ball, not accurately, but he can at least bomb it. And he's dynamic. I mean that's why, he's only rated in 86 by On3 because he definitely has some deficiencies. But I think he was the most electric guy in the portal, and he's still there now. I mean, if you were building an offense around Dexter, Mike is plug and play.
Okay. All right. Again, no real ties there, I don't think. Looking at him out of high school real quick, just to see if maybe we were interested at all. I mean, he's clearly a very smart kid. It was down to Vanderbilt and Northwestern as the 2 colleges of his choice at the end. I'm trying to see, was IU involved? They were not, according to 24/7. So yeah, that's another one. Here's the one that we've heard a little bit of buzz. And when I said we might have a chance, we might have a chance Nolan, Brandon. And I know that you love Chance Nolan. Tell the people about Chance Nolan if we haven't already talked about it.
Man, so nothing about him is gonna blow the doors off, right? He's kind of accurate. He's got kind of an arm. He's kind of mobile. I was more impressed with the games he won, where he won, and who he beat. That almost mattered. Like, that's what I loved about Peyton Ramsey. He was never scared to play Ohio State, Penn State. Just absolutely no fear. Chance Nolan has beaten Washington. He has beaten USC. He has beaten Cal. He has beaten Stanford. Stanford's terrible now, but he's beaten UCLA. Like, he's beaten some really good Pac-12 programs, right? So, again, he reminds me so much of Peyton Ramsey in just how he moves, how he throws. I think you can scheme an offense around what he does. I think we went through it. Yes, he has not beat Utah. Seth, thank you. No, that's one team he has not beat in the Pac-12. I think he's 0-2, and I think he threw like 1 million interceptions against Utah this year. I think he threw like 3 or 4 interceptions
I'll look it up.
against Utah. So he hasn't played well against them. But again, I think he's more mobile than Baz. He has a better arm and more accurate than Dexter. I think he's a great bridge quarterback, which is what we need. I think he is the medicine for what we need. If you've been listening to the pod the last few times, you know he's the guy that I said early, not to be like, oh, I told you so. I mean, just luck. But I mean, I've been talking about him all 3 times. So I'll let you guys go ahead and say anything more on him. But if you've listened, you know I am a fan.
Yeah, so I'm looking at some of his stats. I mean, he's a career 60% completion, which is kind of, you wanted a little bit higher. But when you think of like big time offensive minds at IU, that being Kevin Wilson, the most recent, as far as head coaches go, his line was, I want a 60% passer. So if you look at the 1 year, 2021, where he played all 13 games for Oregon State, he threw the ball for 64%, 2,600 yards, 19 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. So he may be a little inaccurate. Where did those come from? I don't know, but 148 rated. Can run the football if needed. He can also punt. He had 2 punts in that season.
I love the little quarterback pooch punt.
Little pooch. He had 300 and how many yards did he have? I'm sorry, that was his passing. Rushing, he was just a smidge under 300 yards rushing in 2021. So again, over 4.5, around 4.5 yards per carry, and 3 tutties in that season. So the guy can move a little bit. I think Peyton Ramsey's a really good comparison. I think he's bigger. Is he not bigger than Peyton?
Yeah, he's 6'2".
6'3", 203 is what I've got on Sports Reference. So the kid, I think, it can play. I mean, I've mentioned him to a couple people outside of this podcast, a couple Pac-12 people, Oregon fans, USC fan. They all were like, yeah, that dude's a good player. It's a good player. If you can make Oregon State play 13 games, you're a pretty good player. So.
That's my whole point with him. Like, his stats aren't going to blow it. His tape's not, but he wins. And that's been a problem.
Yeah.
All right, Seth's going to say something.
Yeah, let's talk about 22 here. You're cleverly obfuscating the point here. Boise State, Fresno State, Montana State, the 3 non-conference games, he had 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, was averaging about 65%. Against USC, no touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Against Utah,
did they win that game?
No, they got blown up by 1 million.
Against Utah, 28% passing, 26 yards.
He got hurt that game.
2 interceptions. Well, he did a lot of damage before he got hurt. So, so again, non-conference, 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. In conference, 0 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
Yeah.
So
against the 2 teams, I mean, USC was the top 10 team in the country, and Utah went to the Rose Bowl. Like like if you have those 2 games against Michigan and Ohio State, that sucks. But we're not bringing him in to beat Ohio State and Michigan. We're bringing him in to beat Rutgers. We're bringing him to beat Maryland, right? Like 2023 IU isn't competing for a Big Ten championship. Sorry, LEO podcast fans, we're not. What we need to do is beat, Purdue. We need to beat Rutgers. We need to beat Maryland. That's who we need to beat, and Chance Nolan can beat those guys, and that's what I'm concerned about.
Yeah, I'm not worried about, and Oregon State. I mean, you're glossing over his full season when he did play a full season, and his stats there. I mean, do you have those pulled up right now? Can you pull up a 2021?
No, he didn't want to talk about his game against USC where he put up 48 points. Seth doesn't want to talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's let me see if I can get him
I
pulled
mean,
up here,
I'm
Brandon.
cherry picking, but you're cherry picking too.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
Both can play that.
Yeah, we can play it.
All right, I got it here.
All right.
So last year, 21 against Utah, they won 42-34 at home. He went 14 for 19, 208, 2 tutties, 0 interceptions, had a
Beautiful.
200 passing rating or a
Let's
200 rating,
Go.
an 82.6 QBR.
Let's
And
go.
USC, they beat in the Mausoleum 45-27. He went 15 of 19, 213, 4 tutties, 2 picks, had a 221 rating and a 97.8 QBR.
Yeah. Also ran the ball for 57 yards on 5 attempts. And and then against
He did
Utah.
not help them beat Utah State though in the bowl game. So again,
Wait, 2021.
God, I want to
they
bitch
played,
slap you so bad.
2021 they played Purdue. Did they play Purdue at the very beginning of the season? They did. In West Lafayette.
and they lost 30 to
Not
21
Great stats.
And
Why did they only throw the ball 16 times?
because we shut them down.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
That was a long time ago. First games of the season are always a tough one.
Yeah, I know.
I usually get in the cups on the first game.
I mean, he didn't have like a terrible game. I mean, he did, I guess, at Washington State. Not great. But other than that, I mean, again, 19-9 he finished in the regular season and then threw 1 pick in the bowl game. I think he's a good player, man. And it looks, based on what I'm even reading right now with just a simple Google search today, I mean, it looks like there's a lot of momentum with him to get here. Brandon has got some information from some people.
Yeah, I mean, it's just if you're not signing up to Peegs 24/7, you're missing out. This is not from Matt Weaver. This isn't from anyone. This is just a fan, a contributor post, basically said that he left school in October because of a spinal concussion. Those are pretty dang serious. You're not really able to study. You basically need to be a zombie until your brain gets right. So he didn't finish his classes. He had thought he had enough credits and didn't need to finish his classes. Turns out he needed 1 business class. So he is, I don't know, 3 credits, 2. I have no idea what the poster didn't put anything on there, but he's 1 class away, X amount of credits away, and that just needs to get hammered out. And then it could happen soon. It could maybe happen soon.
Which would be a big boost. And any sort of positive news right now around Indiana athletics, at least on the men's side, would be great news.
You know what I love, just real quick? I'm not bagging on IU basketball podcasts,
no.
But this podcast, I mean, everyone now has turned on Dolson. Man, we were on Dolson 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks ago.
6 months ago.
We were dogging Dolson. And now and now all the IU podcasts, you're like, oh, it's Dolson's fault. Yeah, we've been there. We said that.
What's that guy? Is it time to turn on Woody yet?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Okay. Speaking of turning on people, let's talk about the people that are leaving since we last spoke. I don't know when we last spoke, but I'm pretty sure
Seth and I covered signing day 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Like December 18th, December 19th, something like that.
So since then, as far as people out, Luke Wigginton, the offensive tackle, transferring out. Javon Swinton, wide receiver, transferring out. Somebody that never, you want to talk about a roller coaster. Maybe it wasn't even a roller coaster. Maybe it was just a peak against that Penn State in 2020. And then from there on out, it was just little tiny hills. Like that's it. Emory Simmons, somebody that really turned it on towards the end of the year, has entered the transfer portal, as well as a very surprising name that came in yesterday. Brylan Lanier, the cornerback, transfer from.
That one hurts.
Hold on. I don't want to be classified as what Greg Doyle that did it in the Star that said IU snags Alabama transfer, defensive back or whatever it was. The Alabama walk-on transfer, Brian Lanier, who had a pretty good name, or Brian Lanier, who had a pretty good year. Kind of turned it on towards the end of the season as well. Is he a huge loss? No, I don't think so. I think
So I think
we've-
it's important, and we'll cover this, right, to see who's coming in.
Yeah.
I mean, we've nailed some corner transfers.
Jameer
We've nailed
Johnson,
some
Nick
wide
Toomer.
receiver transfers, right? So you can say it in the NFL, you can say it in high school, you can say it certainly in college. If you're running away from competition, that's not who you want in the locker room. I don't know if that's what Emery, Simmons, and Lanier are doing. I don't know if they're running away from competition, but I do know competition exists in both of those rooms. And I'm more comfortable on the wide receiver side than I am the corner side. But both neither rooms are devoid of talent.
Yeah, doesn't that just give a clear pathway to Mullen and Mons? And who's the third
Right.
one? There's another DB that we were really excited about last year.
Oh, goodness.
Essentially,
Yeah, I can't think of his name right
jumping
now.
right into roles as redshirt freshman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got that, but then you've also cleared the way for some of the guys coming in. Now, Nick Toomer, we have listed as a corner. Recruiting sites and his thing have him listed as a safety, but that name, and I don't know why we haven't talked about this. He's a newer guy, or did you guys talk about him last
We haven't.
time?
No, we haven't talked about any of these guys.
Okay, so Nick Toomer from Stanford has transferred in, and Brandon, and I don't know if this rang a bell with you or not, but it just hit me. I remembered that name because it was between IU and Stanford when he initially committed to Stanford out of high school. Casey Teagarden was really high, was recruiting him out of there, and he was part of the 2019 class. This is how disgusting my head is, I guess, that I remember the fact that we recruited Nick Toomer out of high school, and now it's nice to have him back. Kind of an Emery Simmons type of full circle kind of deal with him, so that's cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got Nick Toomer coming in. We've talked Jameer Johnson, the transfer, I think, from Texas. He's coming in as well at corner. And I wouldn't be surprised, Brandon, if they don't bring in at least one more.
Yep.
Now with Lanier leaving, but Seth said it. I mean, Mons didn't play at all, really. We didn't see any Mullen. And then I got to look up who else the other guy was, Brandon. But if you want to talk about some of these transfers coming in, go ahead.
I want to talk linebackers because I'm not quite sure where they're because of the defense that IU runs. I'm not quite sure where they're going to line up, but I am super, super excited about Josh Rudolph. Yeah, he went to Austin Peay, but you don't get just 95 tackles out of nowhere, right? You have to be an absolute ball hawk.
Those are Tigre Scales numbers. 95.
Right, like they're pretty insane. On 3, let's see, where did On 3 have him? They had him as an 88. What does that mean? Donovan McCullough's a 92, right? So like I love Rudolph. I think he's a tackling machine. He's going to line up to Aaron Jones. I think he ends up as inside linebacker. We'll see what happens. But I really like that. We got another Stanford guy, Jacob Mangum Farrar. Again, another absolute stat stuffer, 75 tackles in the Pac-12. I also think he provides that inside linebacker depth. He has a body that he can play edge if he wants. It'll be interesting to see where he ultimately lines up. But he was an inside linebacker at Stanford. I was concerned, especially with Holt's injury. Like I was really concerned about our inside linebacker depth. Those two guys are tackling machines. So I love those two. But I think
Daryl Minor as well too.
Yeah, Daryl Minor. I think we'll talk about the Minor brothers here coming up. But we had to add an edge guy. We had to add an edge guy, and we got that in Linnell Carr. He was one of our highest rated transfers. On 3 has him as a 91 defensive end. So 247 shows him as a linebacker. On 3 has him as a defensive end. That tells me he's an edge rusher.
Yeah, he's edge.
Like that tells me. And he's a highly rated edge rusher. You pair him up with some of the defensive linemen that we're going to cover. I think we massively upgraded our linebacker core with the transfer portal, which I think was one of the weakest rooms on the entire roster.
Yeah, and what's funny is, as of now, the two that we had are coming back, right, Brandon? Is Aaron?
Well, Jones isn't, but yeah, we have Jennings and Aaron Jones.
Aaron Casey.
Aaron Casey, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So those two coming back with and Jennings, I thought played a really good at the end of the year. Had that huge interception too against I think it was Western Kentucky in the end zone. I think he's going to be a really good player with another year. And then obviously Aaron Casey, if he can stay healthy, is
my
really
point
good.
was we were playing Fitzgerald at linebacker.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like it was bare bones. Jamari Sharp, you're right, Seth.
That's the one I was going to tell you guys. Yeah, Jamari Sharp was another one. Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I just look at that linebacking upgrade and I get really excited.
Yeah. The one guy, and this is going to sound like a broken record here, I think, but the one guy that I'm really high on is running back transfer Christian Turner.
Yeah.
From Wake Forest. And man, if we would like to take a running back from any school, it might be Wake Forest. See Kenneth Walker.
Offensive Rookie of the Year, Kenneth Walker.
Yeah. And then so this kid, every year that he's been in school is averaged over just a smidge under in his sophomore year at 4 yards a carry. But the 2 years that he ran over 100 times, both over 500 yards, both over 5 touchdowns.
Do you have his receiving stats in front of you?
They're not big. 5 catches last year, 4 catches the year before. Now, I don't watch Wake Forest football ever. So I'm not sure if that is part of their offense at all.
Yeah.
But he's got some big runs, 48 yards, 35 yards, but he's not going to kill you with his speed. This dude he's thick. He's a nice, big power back kind of with enough speed there to make it happen. A good piece to have back there with Josh, which will be a huge compliment. So, and that room now is starting to look pretty decent.
Yeah, I like our running back room.
Yeah. Speaking of that, real quick shout out, Jalen Lucas today by the Football Writers of America named All-American as a freshman. So freshman All-American team, one of the top 32 freshmen in the country. So the kid is special. Why it took us so long to get him integrated into the team, your guess is as good as mine. So
can we talk about the defensive line?
Let's talk about it
now.
Marcus Burris,
Andre Carter.
Oh, Andre Carter's. Yeah, we've talked about Andre.
Philip Beidel. His story is amazing. Did you read the Indy Star article?
Did not.
So he's married, has a kid, is huge into the community, is bringing his whole family to Bloomington. Like, he's like a grade A student. Like, he's just like a wonderful freaking person. I think you can't have enough of those guys in a locker room, especially in a season that's so pivotal. You need some X factors, right? Like, you and I sit close enough to the sidelines. Sometimes we comment like, we're dead. We had no energy, right? Yeah. He's our energy. He is just a bowl of happiness. That's weird, but you give him energy, bowl of energy, right? So I'm pumped about him. It was a big land out of Texas Tech. We always seem to raid the Ole Misses and Auburns. This year it was Texas A&M and Texas Tech.
Yeah,
the schools we poached from.
Yeah, I'm sure he's a great guy. I just hope he can stop the run. That's all I really care about. Same with Marcus Burris, another guy that came in from Texas A&M. Anybody else in the D line I don't see, but there's 2 guys I really want to talk about too. One of them, I think, could be a huge surprise. But let's talk first about EJ Williams, the big wide receiver transfer.
Oh, we got to have Seth talk about him, right?
Let's talk about him, Seth. He didn't play much last year. I think that might have been his first year, right? No, he's been on the team since 2020. 2021 played a little bit. 2020 he played.
So he had a massive year, not a massive year, but he was impressive with the 1 year with Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah,
when he actually had a quarterback that'll throw at him.
That's true.
Am I wrong, Seth, in that? Didn't he have a decent year his freshman year?
His freshman year, 20 4 catches,
And then you
300
didn't put
yards, and
any
a
up
couple
with-
touchdowns.
That was the year Clemson was really thin at receiver. I think their top
Yeah.
receiver was hurt pretty much all year. I think was it Justin Ross maybe.
Ross. Yeah, that guy was
So
good.
I know he was kind of forced into action as a freshman, and then he kind of fell back into his kind of, I don't know the right way to say this, but his seating on the depth chart kind of rose around him, so to speak. So it was more of a victim of, the players got healthy and
Yeah.
kind of
I mean,
forced
that
him back
program-
to the
that
sideline.
program was
Victim of
always
DJ
loaded.
Ukulele
Yeah.
at quarterback.
I
That
was going
was
to say
his
that
problem.
doesn't help either. Oh, of course.
That was a massive problem. Yeah. I think that, what was the game that they lost the beginning of this year? It was like 9-3 or something like that. Whatever it was, they couldn't move the football. Might have been against South Carolina. It was one of the weirdest things. I actually forced myself to watch it for some reason. I don't know if maybe the other game was like Purdue or something. So I was like, I can't watch that. So I don't know what it is, but yeah, I think this guy's got a lot of potential. I haven't looked at his high school stuff. Brandon, have you looked at what his
I
recruiting?
mean, he was
looks
a
like coming out?
5-star, wasn't he?
I'll get that right now. But Brandon,
I'm
why
showing
don't
a
you-
high 4 on 24/7. He was a .9682, was
Right
the
on the line.
69th overall in the recruiting class. He was the 13th receiver and number 3 in Alabama.
Alabama. Yeah, so I don't know. Marcel Aitman they do those comparisons to
Yeah.
some of the high rated players. Kind of
He has a
projected him as
really
day
big
3 kid.
basketball
Yeah.
background, so he's very athletic. Think of a kind of a Cam Camper type, really. He
Oh
has
my
that
goodness.
6'3", 200-pound body, very athletic, high point, jump, rangy. Those are the kind of words that typically are associated with him.
Tell me, and this gets a little graphic here, listeners, but guys, tell me how hard your nipples get when I tell you about Cam Camper on one side and EJ Williams on the other side, and then maybe a guy by the name of DeQuise Carter, transfer from Fordham, maybe in the slot. Brandon, have you done any research on DeQuise Carter? I've watched some highlights of him, and he's a speedster.
I mean, he is perfect in the slot. DJ
Big too,
didn't-
right? 6'1", I think.
DJ, I don't think so. I think he's
Let me look
smaller
him
than
up.
that.
Let me get him.
But I mean, again, he makes some he's got absurd hands.
6 foot. So I'm assuming probably.
Yeah, no,
not
he's. I
6
thought he
foot.
was smaller. But if you watch his highlights against Nebraska for
Yeah,
one,
Nebraska was the one. Yeah,
he tore up Nebraska. I think 111 yards.
in a win.
Fordham didn't beat Nebraska.
They
did
beat him. They did.
What?
Beat him. Yeah.
Did they really? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
At least we
lost.
never lost a Fordham.
Yeah,
We
the
lost
Scott
to 'em.
Frost Avalanche was.
So this is a fun. You wait for the score, Brandon. You ready? Oh wait, no. Wait a minute. No. This was from when Adrian Martinez played for them, so that can't be right. Let me look it up. Maybe that was the only time that they played for him. Yeah, no, they didn't lose.
No, there's
I will
no way
find out
they
who
lost to
they got
Florida.
smoked by Nebraska. Let me look up Nebraska and who they lost to real quick.
But
keep
anyway,
talking,
yeah, I mean,
Brandon.
this
Go ahead.
guy fills
South Dakota State, maybe.
Yes, that's probably it.
Who
Go
then
ahead,
won
Brandon. Brandon, keep talking.
He fills a DJ Matthews role really well. He does jet sweeps. He's in motion a lot. If you watch a lot of his highlights, kind of what we do with a lot of action in the backfield. He excels at that. I think he's a perfect fit. I'm really, really excited about DeQuise.
Georgia Southern at home. That was the
Georgia Southern.
straw that broke the.
Well, the
Lost
Sun Belt
back.
was insane this year. The Sun Belt was like better than the MAC.
Yeah, but they lost to Georgia Southern at home, and then lost to Nebraska or Oklahoma, and then had a
Then
bye
I-
week
yeah.
and beat IU. Yeah, so,
Get
yeah,
right week.
yeah. You know what happens. So yeah, what an exciting group that is. Especially if we can get Cam back in time and healthy and back to anything like he was at last year. I mean, my goodness, that could be a decent group right there. So
And don't forget Omar. Don't think
Omar, you
McCulley.
got McCulley. Yeah. And I read today an article. It might have been an Indy Star article or a 24/7 article talking about how close that group is, the group that has stuck around with Lucas and McCulley and my goodness, Sexy Dexy. So, I mean, there's some talent there. There really is. I know that there's not a lot of momentum right now, at least outside of the program. But internally in the program, I mean, if you sit down and look at that talent that's there, if they could just piece together a good quarterback or have Dexter back, I mean, it's an exciting year next year. So, guys, I think we're pretty close to wrapping it up.
Yeah, I got one more. We
Go ahead.
added Max Longman.
Yeah.
He's played a lot. He played over 600 snaps this year. He put up a really good year. He did play at UMass. But if there's one group outside of quarterback that I think we gotta add some linemen. I mean, that's the line did turn it around towards the end part of the year. But we have got to add bodies, even if it's just to steal an NFL term. We got to grab some camp bodies, right?
Yeah.
You can't have the projected starters to get that much practice time. So that's, if there's one area that I think we've lacked is in both high school recruiting and transfer portal, we need to add linemen.
Yeah. And I think if Coach Terry can do what he did in that short amount of time, imagine what his name is blanking me right now, but the new coach from Wisconsin can do with an entire offseason.
Bozich?
That's right. Sounds right. It's definitely starts with a B, I think. But while he's looking that up, I'm going to give you guys a super quick word from our sponsor, Monon Track Club. MTC is Indiana's running brand built on a deep love for the sport and the Hoosier State. They craft products, tell stories, and create experiences that aim to celebrate, support, and add to Indiana's running culture. Check out the link in the show notes for more details on their club runs and to shop their sick gear, from shirts to hoodies to koozies. As a thank you to our listeners, they are offering 10% off your order. They're still doing that. Use the promo code LEO10 until they take it off at checkout. Now, let's get back to the show where it would be Brando's Randos. We don't have any of those today. Seth, is your sack empty?
Couple small pieces. It was Bob Bostad is the offensive line coach.
Bob. Come on, Bob.
Yeah, I have one quick note, and it's we talked about this, and you're talking about this with the receivers, the guy from Fordham who would be a really good slot receiver. I think that, again, I think the complement to the running back coming in will be a nice complement from a power perspective towards to have Josh as kind of the main kind of first down, third down back, and have him be the power back. That's a nice compliment. Occasionally use Jalen Lucas maybe in some schemes. I expect him to be a little bit, probably more focused in the slot next year. So that'd be another exciting weapon to potentially use there. And then the really cool thing is to transition here slightly. A lot of people reach out to us over the holidays. It was really nice to have people say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and all that stuff. So I want to thank a shout out to all the fans who keep us going. We're a bunch of dorks who like football. And in my case, I don't even like IU football. I just like podcasting and sports in general. So it's really cool, you guys, when you reach out and send off good wishes and things like that. So thanks for being engaged. It's I don't know, probably occupies more time than it should for me, but it's fun. So keep doing it. We'll keep doing it. And we have a lot to look forward to in 2023. So hang with us, and I don't know. Hopefully you can at least have at least maybe not against Purdue, but have a better season otherwise next year. So,
well, if you didn't block him before that monologue, you can certainly block him after that monologue.
There you go. And speaking of
me,
blocking,
baby. Here we go.
Right. Speaking of blocking and exciting news for 2023, and I'm going to break some news here, I think, to Brandon and to Seth.
Whoa.
We are, as a podcast, going to start offering some new things for you guys. So I think we're going to work on opening up a Patreon channel for you guys to just get exclusive access to some of the things that we do, some of the extra things that we will have planned on going forward. We'll have some new stuff out. I know we talked briefly about doing some merch and some fun stuff like that, maybe some on-site things. Some of that stuff is in the works, as they say, in the biz. So be on the lookout for that. Obviously, we'll give you guys plenty of notice and make it very clear on Twitter, as well as on the podcast, and what we've got going on. So as well as I just read that read, that's one of the benefits of being on Patreon, that you won't even have to listen to that. You never have to listen to Monon Track Club ever again. And guess what? If once that gets up and going, this is the big bomb. And we have talked about this a little bit. We are going to, and I don't have the details set yet, and Brandon knows this as well. we are gonna try to do our own little NIL thing as well. For some of these players, get that stuff moving in the right direction for that program or for our program, and see what we can do. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So
That is super. That's next level,
That's
dude.
next level.
That's
That's what we're gonna try to
absolutely
do.
next level.
And so I've got a baby coming on the way in May, so this will be a lot of work to do before May, but we'll see what we can do to get it done. But there's stuff moving in the background, and as soon as we've got it in stone, we will make sure everybody's aware of it before it rolls out.
I'm excited about merch.
Yeah,
Can we get a Brando's Randos tee?
we can get we'll work on something. We'll work on something.
We cannot get a Seth Sack tee.
No, we'll get a Seth. We'll get
I
a
was gonna
Seth
say,
Sack
a
like
block, a
boxers
big
or
old
something.
block on me or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get some Seth Sack boxers or something. All right. Well, hey, speaking of rolling stuff out, we're about to roll out, but before we do, let's talk some of these bowl games. I didn't
Yes.
watch any of them
No?
except
Dang.
for well, I'm sorry. I did watch two of the most exciting games of the year. And then I also watched Ohio State, Georgia. So I watched LSU Purdue, which was electric from start
Lucrative.
to finish.
Lucrative.
What was the final score, Seth?
Was it 56 to 7?
So 56-7
Something like that.
At that point was one of, if not the
It was the biggest blowout
biggest
in bowl game history.
bowl game in history. And
Un-
who comes to save Seth from
But
the
wait.
embarrassment?
There's more.
But the horny frogs from TCU sweep in and say, no, sir, hold my beer. That is a record I would like to take. And they now own the biggest blowout in bowl game history, which I do not remember the score of that game because I stopped watching it and I ended up playing golf, not real golf, but on my Xbox because I was more
So it was
entertained by
65 to 7 was TCU Georgia, and 63 to 7
63
was
63.
LSU
Oh my
Purdue.
goodness, saved by Stetson. So yeah, that's how that went. All right, let's
Next
talk real
Colt
quick.
quarterback, right?
Oh, God, dude. Maybe a backup or something.
So
Wisconsin,
I wanted
Oklahoma State. Let's talk that one real quick. How'd that go?
I don't really have any notes on
Wisconsin
that one.
won, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Wisconsin
Yeah.
won that one. Syracuse, Minnesota, good game in New York, right? How'd
Meh.
that go? No, don't know.
Mm.
Maryland,
Mm-mm.
NC State. your
I lost
boy-
money on this one. It was one of my locks.
Yeah,
I
NC
thought,
State
I
was
thought,
a lock, right?
yeah, and Maryland played amazing.
Yeah, played pretty
Yeah.
well. It was really good
and their
defense,
stud,
right?
their stud tight end Dupree is going to Alabama.
Good for him.
CJ Dupree.
You, me, and
Good for him.
Dupree. Underrated movie.
Yeah, it is underrated. I agree. Wow.
Another lock I had was Kentucky to beat Iowa.
Me too.
Me too.
Me
Iowa
too.
scored 21 points.
Yeah, but tell them how they scored it. Tell them, do you know
Two
how they
defensive
scored it?
touchdowns and the special teams, right?
Yeah, yeah, something.
Not
like
a single offensive touchdown.
That. It was so stupid, and so it's 21-0. They were all scored in the second quarter.
I lost. Yeah, that was
So
that and Tulane cost me money. Those are the only
best
two.
part about this is none of the players that were playing for either one of these teams outside of Sam Laporta we could have freaking named. So Luke Lachey caught
Their
a 15
backup
yard
tight end.
caught a 15-yard pass from Joe Labus. Not even what's his name, who's terrible.
Padilla or Petrus. Yeah.
Petrus or Padilla, who's decent. And then 2 interception returns, a 52-yarder and a 14-yarder, all 3 of them within 12 minutes in the second quarter.
And guess
no
who's
other
still
scores.
employed? Brian Ferentz.
Yes.
Yay!
And Kirk,
Kirk
right?
Ferentz.
And he's got
Kirky
and he's
Ferentz.
got what the Michigan JV offense coming in. So
There you go. Okay, so I mean, I know that we're gonna want to talk about these 2 games, but real quick, Mississippi State with a big time comeback, right? Against
Oh, dude, that
Illinois.
game was awesome.
Game
that
was
game was
great.
unreal.
What we
So
knew, the
much
Quarterback
Right.
crying on the sidelines.
writing was on the wall with that game. If you bet Illinois, which I think Seth did, you're an idiot
And you're a horrible person.
and a
No,
horrible person.
I stayed away from that. I taled about it, but I stayed away.
All right, because I put money on Mississippi.
No, I told
State
you
as
what was it?
soon
The
as-
ghost pirate would never allow that to
the
happen.
Ghost Pirate. That's right. Also, really good game. Just kidding. Big Red Dog
Played
Versus-
amazing.
versus Utah. He played great, and they They beat that.
That's
doors
another
off
money.
of them.
I lost money on that one as well. I mean, I thought Utah was going to
Yeah.
absolutely pulverize.
Oh yeah.
That was
that's
what,
the
3.5
Pac-12 effect,
hours
man.
of Sean Clifford just getting waxed
The
poetically the whole
Cincinnati Kid.
Ugh. That was an all-time mute game.
Yeah. So I mean, it's the Big 12 effect, boys. It's the Big 12 or the Big 12 Pac-12 effect. Utah is going to Utah in the Pac-12, but then they have to play the Big 10 or literally anybody else, and then they're going to get beat up by a fictional book character. Now let's talk about other things that probably shouldn't have happened. Let's talk trick plays on 4th and goal. In the first
Michigan,
quarter,
what are you doing?
Michigan and
the Philly special. The Philly
time
special.
management. I don't ever want to hear anybody until he does worse than this tell me that Tom Allen doesn't know time management when Jim Harbaugh's dad, who doesn't even know where he was standing up screaming, "What is he doing?" On national TV, millions of people watching this game, and your dad embarrassed you in front of everybody screaming, "What is he doing?" When you have 3 timeouts, you're under 2 minutes, you don't have the football, and your defense is trying to get it back for you, and you're not doing anything.
The one thing we know about Jim Harbaugh is he can win the big game if you give him 7 tries. So 5 more college football playoff championship games away, he'll finally win one.
Well, he might win a Super Bowl with the Colts next year. Maybe. We'll see. Or maybe he's going. No, wait. I guess you
Denver.
guys haven't fired your coach yet, have you? In Chicago, you've just hired a big dummy to be your president.
That was what I was going to talk about. Oh, yeah.
Kevin Warren, he's made the Big Ten worse, honestly. Will now go make the Bears worse. So
No, well, at least they'll be the Arlington Heights Bears of Chicago or something like the Chicagoland Bears.
We'll see how it goes. Chicagoland Bears. That'd be great. And then let's talk
the
about
the Napier Thrill Bears.
Yeah, there you go.
The Napier Thrillers. Yeah.
Let's talk about the missed field goal as the ball drops.
Oh, this
what
was
timing on that one.
amazing.
11:58.
What were you guys doing?
He was in my basement with me.
Yeah.
And other people. It wasn't just us two. And his wife and his kid. And
not judging, brother. Not judging.
Some other people.
Whatever you want to bring in the new year.
A lot of people down here. But no, we were screaming just in probably the most offensive sort of accents ever. But maybe, I don't know if you can really offend these kind of people, Seth. But we were just, "Go Dogs! Just come on now, Dogs! Come on, Dogs!" Just all night.
I thought you were gonna rip me up for my Kevin Hart impersonation.
Oh,
so
God,
I'm glad your
impersonation was terrible. Yes, and borderline offensive.
to short people.
The fact that you got down on your knees to do the impression with a Bears jersey on, might I add. But yes, it's great. And if begged enough, or maybe we'll make it an NIL donation release. So if we hit a certain amount, we will release the Seth footage of him doing his Kevin Hart impression.
Patreon subscribers get it.
Get it for free. Exactly.
Yeah. Patreon members do not have to wait for any threshold.
So another cool part of that, now while we're talking about it, and then Brandon, I'll let you wrap up, is with that will open one of the worst things that I can't stand it, but I'm sure Brandon loves it, is we'll also introduce a Discord group that will allow us to kind of talk IU football all the time. So if you're not familiar with that, it is super nerdy. But it's just an app, and it's just a group for a bunch of dudes that want to talk IU football just nonstop.
It's nerdier than Reddit, that's for sure.
It's much easier than Reddit.
Nerdier.
And nerdier. But it's also easier than Reddit because it's just a chat group.
It's way easier. You guys already know I'm an over texter, right? So if we do this Discord thing, guys, be prepared for the
notifications off already. So, Brandon, did you want to add anything else on those games before we take it out of here?
Who was the best team in the Big Ten?
Ohio State.
Illinois.
I thought Ohio State. I thought CJ Stroud was incredible.
Ohio State. When healthy, Ohio State.
It makes you wonder if, like, did Harbaugh sell his soul just to beat Ohio State? That's what I want to know.
I think so.
Because I think it was obvious throughout the season that Ohio State was the better team. I think it's actually happened 2 years in a row now. But yeah, I'm glad.
I think
agree.
he got the 2 wins against Ohio State and a house in Petoskey for his soul.
Do you want to know what it makes me wonder? What if Ohio State had a real coach? That's what it makes me wonder. Because maybe if Ryan Day could, play a little bit of defense in that game, or do a little bit better clock management than his buddy Jim Harbaugh, then maybe they would have won that game, and then they would have destroyed
Ohio
TCU
State would have
the same way.
cruised. Yeah.
So, and we were saying that. I remember saying that. I was like, damn it, here goes Ohio State. They're going to win the national championship now. So,
Yep.
But yeah, there you go. Either way, we're done. You guys got anything else to say?
That's it. It's glad to be back, Michael. Thank you so
Yes,
much for
thank
coming
God.
back.
I'm so glad we're back. Follow us on Twitter. We're still doing some stuff. It's at Podcast LEO. That'll get you some of that information that we've been talking about and teasing a little bit. Download, rate, review, follow us on all the platforms. If you guys want anything else, I know we tried to start like one of those other ones, and then we kind of got caught up in the season and just forgot. So if you guys want us to be anywhere else, let us know. We will do that. Trying to think what else. That is it. Until next week, believe it or not, we'll be back again next week. We love you guys. Elio.
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 Awesome day. Elio.
Thank you so much, Rick. I appreciate that. Elio.
All right, great. Elio. Appreciate you guys. Elio.
You're welcome, Dave. Have a great day. Elio.
Have a great day. Elio. Appreciate you being here with us. Have an awesome day. And Elio.
Oh, thank you so much. Elio.
Well, thanks so much, Elio. Hey, thanks so much, Mike. Appreciate that. Elio. Appreciate you guys, man. Have an awesome day. Elio. Awesome. Elio. Elio.